Hi, this is Cliff Nelson from Redwood Tutoring. I'd like to talk with you about factoring binomials of the form a squared minus b squared. We call these differences of squares. Now, a squared minus b squared, if I want to factor this, I could factor this into a minus b times a plus b, or the order doesn't matter, so I could also write it as a plus b times a minus b. Now, you might be wondering, why is that? I think it would be good for us to actually FOIL one of these expressions out just to see what happens. Here, if I FOIL out a plus b times a minus b, well, FOILing gives me a times a squared. Then I have negative ab, that is minus ab, and then plus ab, and then minus b squared. Well, because these two binomials are exactly the same, except for one of them says plus and one of them says minus, the middle terms will always cancel each other out, leaving me with just a squared minus b squared, the very thing that I wanted to factor. So let's go ahead and do a few problems, and then hopefully you guys will begin to see the pattern as to how these problems work. Let's suppose that I'm asked to factor the following. Suppose that I want to factor x squared minus 49. Well, this is a difference of squares because 49 is just 7 squared. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this down into x minus 7 times x plus 7. And that'll be my final answer. How about this one? What if I had a squared minus 121? Well, this is also a difference of squares. This is 11 squared that gives me 121. So what I have here is I have a minus 11 times a plus 11. Now, when it comes to a problem that goes like this, say for number 3, I had 4y squared minus 25. This is a little bit different from the ones that we were just talking about. Here, this is going to become, well, this is a difference of squares because this is just 2y squared. And of course, 25 is just 5 squared. So see if you could break it down before I do, before I actually write it on the board. This is going to become 2y minus 5 times 2y plus 5. Remember, the order doesn't matter. This could be a plus and this a minus. Either way is fine. Let's suppose that my problem was 2x cubed minus 18x. Before I do anything else with this problem, I want to factor out the greatest common factor. In this case, the greatest common factor is 2x. Well, once I've factored out 2x, then I'm left with a nice difference of squares, x squared minus 9. So this is going to give me, for my final answer, x minus 3 times x plus 3. How about this one? Let's suppose that I have a squared plus 36. Well, this is a perfect square, and so is this. But rather than being a difference of squares, this is the sum of two squares. Since I have the sum of two squares, there's nothing that I could do. My answer here is that this is a prime polynomial. My answer is prime. How about this one? Number 6. If I have 25b squared minus 1, well, I know that this breaks down into 5b squared, and I know that this breaks down into 1 squared. So what I have here is 5b minus 1 times 5b plus 1. and this will be my final answer. All right, this is Cliff Nelson from Redwood Tutoring. Thank you for joining me.